Hey there, I'm Jill Allen, and this is Find Your Fierce, the show designed for women to discover your fierce, unlock an unstoppable mindset, build unbreakable courage, and completely transform how you show up every single day. Each week, I will bring ideas, methods, and strategies that will inspire you to step into your greatness and live life on purpose. Let's be fit, fierce, and unstoppable. Hey there, gang. Welcome to Find Your Fierce. I'm Jill Allen, and I'm so super excited that you are here with me as we dive into another amazing episode 179, showing up each week to bring a little fire to your day. And we are actually going to be talking about slowing down to speed up, what that means and what it looks like for me here in the next coming weeks, and what it can look like for you. But before we go any further, I love that you are here listening in and spending time with me. I have a couple of updates that I definitely want to share with you. One, Set Fire is available, and if you have not snagged a copy yet, go to Amazon, especially if you want to fire up your life and ignite a spark of courage in you so that you can live your life on purpose. So go order your copy right now, Amazon. You're going to love it. Also, the first ever Trailblazer Challenge kicked off a few weeks ago, but it is not too late for you to join us. Your day one can actually be today. And we're loving this challenge. I love seeing all the posts and all the miles that you're getting in on the trails because it is designed to help you guys get outside. And it's doing that, helping you unplug and recharge and explore the beauty of nature. And kind of break it down, the goal is to hike 4,000 minutes on the trails in the next 4 months. So like I said, today could be your day one. And whether you're a beginner or a seasoned hiker, guys, I tell you, the Trailblazer Challenge is for you. Lace up your hiking boots, hit the trails with us. Registration is still open. Go to JillAllenCoaching.com to join us. So are you ready? I know I am. So let's dive in. I got to ask, are you burned out? Are you straight up tired? Are you exhausted from all the effort, all the work, all the pressure, the stress, the expectations, all the things, all the time, and you feel like you just have nothing left to give? I know we've all been there. Some of us are there now. I know I am, where we're trying to drag our butts through another day when we're just kind of over it all, right? Where we really just want to quit. We really want to hide. We really want it to go all away. And if it doesn't go away, like we're ready to go away. I think last week I told Rob, I said, I think I just might go to the beach alone by myself just to get away and regroup. I realized at that same time, that I did need that break. Guys, I lost it. This is not necessarily a proud moment, but I lost it over the twisty tie that was left on the counter after someone made a sandwich. Now, I have picked up and thrown away, I kid you not, at least one or two twisty ties every day for the past 20 years. And it's like they never get back on the bread bag. It's just left right there on the counter. I mean, it was always one of those things, though, that I would let slide because, I'm one where it's like pick and choose your battles, right? But last week, I lost it as if the whole world was crumbling down around me. That people were out to get me because they left this blue little twisty tie on the counter once again. And at that moment, I didn't just understand really how someone could be so lazy that they couldn't put it back on the bag, or why couldn't they just throw it away? Guys, 20 years. I even went so far to prove a point to my family that in those 20 years, that probably over 7,000 twisty ties I had thrown out away because of laziness, that I had reached my limit. Now, like I said, this was not a good moment for me. This is not a proud moment. I probably hit a low at that time. And I knew in that moment that something had to give, that it was not about the twisty tie, that I was just exhausted and burned out. I felt like I could run away, guys. Did you guys ever run away as a kid? I think I was probably 8 and I had this argument with my mom. I can't even remember over what, but I was so convinced that my mom was mean that day and was absolutely ridiculous. And if I ran away, I'm thinking she'd be sorry. So I was kind of overdramatic. I pretended to pack my bag and I was going to head out through the kitchen door, stomping my feet, making sure that she could see me leave. Do you know what my mom was doing? She was actually packing me a sandwich so I could take it with me. And in that moment, I was immediately regretting my decision. So I did what any hot-headed 8-year-old girl would do. I sat down by the side of the house and I ugly cried eating my sandwich. I couldn't even run away right. And so minutes later, Mom invited herself to eat the brown bag lunch that she packed with me. She invited me back out on the back deck. And she kind of asked for me not to run away. Okay. She poured a little bit of love into me. And I never tried to run away again. I never threatened it. I mean, it was just one of those things like I wasn't going to run away. But there have been times since then where I felt like it. I felt like running away from my problems, running away from the messes, running away from all that was going wrong, all the kids, the family drama, all that stuff, giving up because things can be so hard sometimes. There's a story in the Bible about a man named Elijah who was a prophet of the Lord. And he was a man who actually wanted to run away from everything, a man who was overwhelmed and he was given up. And so I want us to learn from him today and actually apply it to all the areas where we are burned out, where we don't want to try anymore, where we're frustrated and we're overwhelmed and we want to quit. Okay, so this is going to be so super good. So dial in here. So Elijah here was guided and directed by God, and he received clear instructions constantly, continually, and he was used in these marvelous ways and, to do these miraculous things. And this great drought fell on the land for years, but God directed Elijah exactly where to go. So if we go to Kings here, 1 Kings 17, verses 2 through 6, says this: "The word of the Lord came to Elijah. Leave here, turn eastward, and hide in the ravine east of the Jordan. You will drink from the brook, and I have directed the ravens to supply you with food there." So he did what the Lord had told him. He went to the ravine east of the Jordan and stayed there. The ravens brought him bread and meat in the morning and bread and meat in the evening, and he drank from the brook. Now, I want you guys to notice a few things here. Elijah did what the Lord told him, and he stayed there. When Elijah did what God said and stayed where God had brought him, he was provided for. So, have we been doing what God told us to do? Have we stayed where he told us to go? Or have we grown lazy? Have we grown restless? Have we strayed where we should have stayed? God provided in the exact place he told Elijah to go. And without fail, God will provide for us in the exact place he tells us to go. Then it happens again for Elijah. The brook where he had been camping dried up because of the drought. So then God told him where to go next. He told him of a specific town where he had already instructed a widow to care for him. And so sure enough, Elijah goes to that town, and there he meets a widow who cares for him. Now remember, in this home is where God used him for a miracle to revive the widow's son who died. Remember, the mother had to stand outside the door while God did the miracle. Sometimes we have to trust God to use someone else to do what we so desperately need. So let me tell you, Elijah is on a God high here. He is being supernaturally guided by the Almighty. He is being used for miraculous works, and he knows for sure it is God working in and through him. That's chapter 17. Now, chapter 18, Elijah sees God make fire and use him for more mighty acts of war. So we're on a roll here. But then we come to chapter 19. Elijah was being threatened and he was afraid. He went from total guidance and provision by God in chapter 17, seeing God's miraculous power around him and through him in chapter 18, to boom, next chapter, verse 3. Elijah was afraid and ran for his life. He went by himself to the wilderness. He came to a bush, sat down under it, and prayed that he might die. "I've had enough, Lord," he said, "take my life." This is Elijah, the prophet of God, giving up. This is him reaching his limit, tapping out, saying, "I'm done with this." It's like his twisty tie here, right? Because we know this feeling. We know those thoughts. I've had enough. But here's the awesome thing. God didn't take his life. He didn't punish him for reaching his limit. You know what he did? He let him take a nap. And then you know what he did? Verse 5 tells us an angel of the Lord came and touched him and gave him a snack. Guys, for real, I'm not making this up. Elijah was so mad he wanted to die, so God let him take a little nap and have a little snack. I'm telling you, God is pretty awesome. So here you are in your hissy fit of wanting to run away from everything. You're looking at that twisty tie on the counter for the 8,000th time. And God says, why don't you just take a little nap and then we're going to have a snack and then we'll work this all out. Let's recharge, let's regroup, and then let's go. You know what happened after Elijah's nap and a snack? God restored his strength. God gave him his next mission, and he set out for victory. Elijah didn't stay down. He didn't stay depressed. He was restored, renewed, and reinvigorated for his purpose. And what I find interesting is how Elijah came to this place of giving up. If you read 1 Kings 17 and 18 step by step, God tells him exactly where to go. Each time Elijah goes, he finds God's miraculous provision and his next assignment. But in chapter 19, God didn't tell Elijah to go to the wilderness. This was of his own doing. He ran to the wilderness because he was afraid. He found shelter under a scrubby bush instead of under the Almighty. Have you been running because you're afraid? And now you find yourself in this desperate place where you don't want to do this anymore. Are you trying to find your security under your job or under your husband, under your title, under your talents, under your possessions? Guys, that's like a scrubby brush in the desert, and that will never do. You need shelter from God. You don't belong in this wilderness, and you don't belong under that scrubby brush. God wants to lead you back to your purpose. So how about a little nap and a little snack, and then let's get back on a plan. Guys, there were so many prophets in the Old Testament, but Elijah is considered to actually be one of the greatest. Isn't that funny? He's the one who was so mad he just wanted to die. He was so disappointed he wanted to give up. He was so burned out he wanted to check out. But this didn't define him, and this will not define you. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've quit. I have quit so many times in the last couple months. It's crazy. I've thrown my hands up and said, Lord, I'm done here. Use someone else. But somehow, after a little rest and a couple meals, God has always brought me back and realigned my attitude for my assignment. Can you ask God to realign your attitude for your assignment today? To not give up, to not stop here, even though you really want to stop here. Allow me to introduce you to this phrase that has helped me through some of my strongest I've had enough moments. Slow down to speed up. So if you're at your breaking point, ready to run off into some wilderness and hide under a scrubby tree, guys, just slow down to speed up. And that is what I'm going to do in this season. I need a nap. If I'm being real honest with you, I need a nap. I need a snack. I think I need a whole meal. And then I'm going to be ready to get up and get back on track with my attitude, aligned for my assignment. For 179 episodes each week for over 3.5 years, there has been no break. I've poured a lot of my heart out there. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I need a break to recharge. I've done a lot of writing with my book, Set Free and Set Fire, pouring into a lot of things, being all in to helping others. And there's this been big transition with our business after 23 years. Our schedules are insane. The kids are in their most critical years, and I just have like a few summers left with them. And if I'm losing it over a bread twisty tie, I need to listen to that and allow God to realign my attitude, my purpose, my passion, so I can come back with fire for my assignment. I'm going to be there 100% for my kids. I'm going to be there 100% for Rob. I'm going to hit the trails. I may be bored out of my mind at times, but I know that this break is so needed. I hope this inspires you to take the nap that you may desperately need as well. I want to end with this, guys. It's a snippet from my book, Set Fire. It's actually in chapter 7. I talk about sprinting and slowing down. And of course, there's always a time to sprint. I mean, there's so many different seasons. There's a time to slow down. And of course, we always have to keep that steady because there's this ebb and flow. And I kind of want to share this with you. Remember, there's an ebb and flow. We woke up today to a once-in-a-lifetime day. By default, our habit will be to miss what's here now and think about what's next. To this day, some moments will never happen again. Opportunities and doors opening that will never open again. Will we rush on by and hurry through our day, missing the possible? There are seasons where I choose to sprint and seasons where I choose to be unhurried. I am guilty of and tend to sprint through the beautiful things. I can be smack dab in the middle of bliss and miss everything because I plan what's next. There are times to choose a different pace, to run when God says run and slow down when God speaks to take it easy. Taking an unhurried pace to sit in the moment and savor the here and now, you will find plenty of time to do all you need to do with less stress and worry. Fulfillment in the days perhaps you have never known, all because you unrush yourself. If you ever wonder why you are tired, anxious, stressed, and disappointed, you're not going with the ebb and flow. God is not in a hurry. You are. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven." This is part of life. This is the fire that has been started, and we don't always have to hurry to the next thing. Just in case you forgot, our days are numbered, and we do not get this one back. We get to choose how we spend it. Spend it constantly sprinting to the never-ending finish line and let your fire die down, or not. Something different must be chosen. Our rush is not required today, as God has allotted time for this moment. Thinking about your to-do list while enjoying a cup of coffee is unnecessary. Getting distracted with upcoming plans while watching a beautiful sunset would not be good. I get it. It is a struggle to slow down and savor what is now because your fire is blazing this season. Linger for a bit today. Flip the script. It is not lazy. Wherever you are today, be there, all of you. Slow down to speed up. What is the hurry? There is nothing crazier than speeding up to a stoplight. Slow down and savor today. Love your people, hug your dog, smell the flowers, take in the bright blue sky, and feel the grass underneath your feet. This is a gift from God. Slow down. Everything you are praying for, working toward, and whatever you are meant to have, there will be a time for you to have. But first, be faithful to what you have been given. There are dreams you are living in today that you prayed for. You have been given so much. Just look at all God has done. Please slow down and look at it. Decide now and set your pace. Is it time to speed up or to slow down? Remember, there's a time and a season for everything. And this summer is a season for me to take a nap and get a snack and recharge, regroup, so I can come back filled with so much fire in my heart here in the next couple weeks to pour it in to you through this podcast. I hope this fires you up. I know it did me. Before we wrap this up, there's something about getting outdoors, unplugging, spending time in nature, and it's time to unleash your inner adventurer with the Trailblazer Challenge that kicked off a few weeks ago. You can still join us. Be the Trailblazer. Just head on over to jillallencoaching.com. You don't want to miss it. These next few weeks, spend some time and listen to the past 3.5 years of amazing Find Your Fierce episodes. It's a season to regroup and recharge. If you missed an episode, now is the time to go back and catch it, as I know you will love them, as they will help you and encourage you to up-level. Thanks so much for joining me today. I pray that I filled your heart with joy. If you could let me know before hopping off, that would be incredible. Subscribe, share this episode link on your social media if you felt encouraged or inspired, as we all know someone that can benefit. And I would love it if you would give some feedback and a review as well. Talk with you next time. Be fit, be fierce, be unstoppable. See ya.